Hey there, everyone. I want to share something today, which involves a dream that I had and something that reflects back to me, I think, about myself. And so, in this dream, I was doing some work for a company. I was helping them with a project and giving them ideas and doing some translation work. And eventually, I started working like I got there my first morning and like from 9 o'clock. And I was working there and I worked until lunch and I realized suddenly I don't have a contract. And we haven't actually agreed how much I'm going to be paid. And I thought that I had really offered a lot of valuable input. And they certainly liked the input that I had given. But when I went to HR to like say, hey, what about a contract? What about negotiating my wage? They were like, can't do that. Or we have to talk to such and such. And I spoke to several people in HR and it's like they weren't listening to me. And so I thought, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go because they're obviously not taking me seriously. And so I left and and I woke up. And so following on from the last video where I thought it was really important to ask the question, what is this really about? Well, that's what I said. What's this really about? What is there a message in here for me somehow that I'm not seeing? And sure enough, it said, well, you don't have an idea of self wealth. You don't a self worth. You don't have an idea of self validation, and you still need external people to validate you and tell you that you're worthy, that you're capable, that what you have to offer is valuable. And I thought to myself, that's really interesting. It's so true just how much we rely on others. We've been taught to rely on others to tell us, you're good enough, you're not good enough, you've passed this subject, you haven't passed this subject, so you're not good enough. You get such and such grade in this subject, or you get paid more money, and therefore you are good enough. And so I thought, okay, I understand that I still have an issue with looking to externally for this validation of myself and to be aware of my own self-worth. So my question to spirit today is when you do have this issue with self-worth, self-validation, how can you how can I know, or how can anyone know, their infinite self-worth and their validity and their essence despite having this issue? So that's what the question that I wanted to pose today. So let's see what comes through. Greetings, dear one. We are so glad that you have made time for us. And as always, we are happy to answer any questions that you may have. Worthiness issues are one of the most rampant issues that you have, and they are difficult to overcome because you have been taught from a very, very early age to seek approval and validation from those around you. First, from your parents, then your teachers, then your employees or employers, then your clients if you're an employer, from family members, friends, siblings, and even the market in general. You are always taught to seek validation from others, and if you have that validation, then you are valid and capable and worthy. And if you don't have that validation, then you are not, and you have never been taught that you have an intrinsic level of self worth and self validation. You are valid and worthy just as you are, without needing to do anything, without needing to achieve anything, without needing to succeed in anything that you think that externally you needed to succeed in to achieve that validation. And yet you continue to subconsciously look for that validation elsewhere. The thing is that if you do not decide that you are worthy and that you are valid just as you are, you will continue to attract people into your life from whom you seek validation, because these people who are there to decide whether they validate you or not, whether they consider you worthy or not, are really just a reflection of yourself, because you are unsure of your own self-worth and your own validity and your own capability. And because you are unsure, you seek from others for that validation. And when you don't get that validation, you feel dejected. You feel upset and disappointed. Sometimes you lash out and you say, "But I am worthy. Why are you not recognizing my worth? Why are you not recognizing that I am a valid contributor? Why are you not recognizing me?" But really, they're just a mirror. The first person that needs to recognize their own validity, their own capability, and their own worth is you. You need to recognize that first and foremost. And everybody else's validation or non validation should be irrelevant, because, first and foremost, you are the one that's validating you. And if you honestly validate and hold yourself in esteem and consider yourself worthy, then the rest of the people around you will have no choice but to consider and to be conscious of your own worth and validity as a person, because they are just a reflection of you, and they are just helping you to see where there are still limitations in your beliefs, where there are still things that you need to work on. They're just mirroring back to you what you believe about yourself. So when we fight and lash out to seek someone else's validation, for example, from an employer, we think, our boss doesn't appreciate me. They don't understand how valuable my input is and what a contribution I make. Then you are really saying that you are not sure yourself of this contribution that you are making. You are not sure how valuable it is. And you are seeking someone external from yourself to give you that validation. If you are certain of your worth, if you are certain of the value that you add, if you are certain of your capability and validity of yourself, then you need no one to validate it for you, because you know full well that you are valid, that you have a unique perspective of everything around you that is important, because it is yours. It is a unique perspective, and your experience, your perspective offers value in and of itself, because you see things through your eyes, and nobody sees the world through your eyes. Only you see your company, your workplace, your business, the world through your lens. Only you, and only you can offer your perspective. So you are valuable. You are worthy, because your input, your perspective always adds value to everything and everyone, because it is yours, because it is unique, and because it adds to the tapestry of all that is, because it is a perspective, your perspective, a different perspective, a unique perspective, and that is valid and worthy in and of itself. When you are unsure of your input, when you are unsure of whether what you are offering is truly worthy, and you feel that you are looking for some external validation, go back into your heart. Go back into your breathing. Breathe and into your heart again and feel into your power. Feel into your uniqueness. Remember that your perspective is unique, completely unique, and it is valid. And because you are certain of its worthiness and its validity, because of its uniqueness, you stand in your power. You offer your perspective with respect to everybody else's perspective from a place of contribution, compassion, and connection with everyone else. And when you stand within that power, knowing full well that you are valid, that you do have something valuable to offer, that you do make a valuable contribution, and you rest in that power, then watch how everyone around you listens and respects you and respects your voice and understands the true value of who you are and what you offer, because they understand at a heart level that everyone's perspective, spoken from their power, from their connection to source and who they are, is valid, is tremendously valid. And they will listen and they will look to you in awe. And not only that, but you will give others permission to speak their truth from that place of power, and knowing that their contribution is valuable. As you awaken to your power and to how valuable you really are, you give others permission to do the same. And from this place of connection and this place of freedom to express your vision, your perspective as you are, watch what happens. And watch how together you can grow into something so much more powerful. When you understand, really understand, just how valuable each and every one of you really is. And with that, we are complete. Wow. Um, that one really brought me to tears. I guess because we really do want to be, I guess, we want some confirmation of just how valuable we are and how unique we are. So it really touched my heart, this one. So I hope this one touched yours as well. And as always, thank you very much for listening. And if you have any comments or anything else that you would like me to channel, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you again for listening. Much love to you all.